The Enclave was once the heart of magical development and trade for practitioners of magic all across the Maida Basin. Not all weavers claimed it as their home, but those that did built a legacy of progress, constructs, and innovation. The likes of which have not been seen since the Surge, almost half a century ago, when a cascade of arcane disasters racked the Maida, and without warning, the Enclave sealed itself away behind a magical wall known as the Veil. Rich and powerful leaders were wounded and killed. Decades of war broke out. Every nation suffered an economic collapse. The world is calmer now, but magic has been shunned, taking the blame for decades of unrest. Weavers remain pariahs to this day. Most places tolerate us if we don't stay too long. While some weavers remember what it was like before the Surge, I've never known a time when weavers had a home. I chose this life years ago, but I'd be lying if I said it has lived up to all I hoped it would be. Stop! Still, my luck might be changing. A few weeks ago, I began traveling with a new weaver band. Now, they've brought me here, where it all began.
Thanks.
Bryn! Over here. What do you think?
When you told me that joining your band meant I'd see the Veil.
No one's been this close in years. The base is shrouded in tangles. Weavers have known about this safe zone in the Veil's shadow for decades, but no one has found a route into it. Until now. You have no idea what I had to do to puzzle out this passage.
I definitely want to hear that story later.
My hope is that we're going to find artifacts from the Enclave itself deeper into the shadow. I'll stay to oversee the camp setup. Why don't you take the preliminary scouting expedition?
Really?
Of course. It's important for the other weavers to see how you do in the field. The map I bartered for in Tarza suggests there's a watchtower deeper into the valley. Shouldn't be too far from where we are.
That's my first landmark, then?
Yes. It should help us get our bearings before we start the search for the Strand Road. And if you make any discoveries, that will endear you to the band.
For sure. I'd love to find my footing with the rest of them.
I'll act as the watcher on the scry and pull you back if anything gets too dangerous. Just steer clear of the tangles. Any questions before you head out?
No questions from me. I'm ready to head to the watchtower.
Glad to hear it. You can head out then. No visuals on the scry. Can you hear me?
I can. Some interference, though.
Must be the tangles. Still, strong enough to pull you out like you practiced. Dom?
I'm on it.
The Veil. Even more impressive up close.
Just this should magnify the enchantment.
Tangles. Beautiful.
And deadly. Give them a wide berth. The closer you get to the Veil, the thicker they'll become.
Its shadow is believed to be impenetrable.
Until now.
wall is completely frozen.
Give it a moment to cool, then you should be able to climb. Perfect. Knowing the watchtower's relative position establishes the distance to the Strand Road. You can come back to... What is that?
Coral. There were rumors of a living mineral that grew deep beneath the Enclave's surface. It seems they were true.
There's more of it in that cave. I could take a closer look.
Too risky to deviate from the plan. First outing was just to reach the watchtower.
This is going well. I say we check it out before finishing the expedition. Beautiful. I've never seen anything like it.
Dan's right about it being a living mineral. I can feel it humming with magic.
Wait, I'm using...
Aurea?
Bring connections back.
Yeah.
Pulling you out.
Mira's breath. I knew this was a bad idea.
We can't extract you.
Dharm, fix it. And Lane have tonics on standby for her return. Out of the cave so we can get our bearings.
It's an ASHPEAK drake.
Quick, your frost magic can cool a path. Vitality tonics on your belt. Take a swig if you need it. Good. Darn's still working on the scribe, but you need to keep moving. Lane, got anything from the map?
There should be a minor patrol path ahead that loops back to the watchtower. It runs close to the Vale, though.
It's our only option.
I'm on it.
Aurea, that drake's acting like...
Let's just focus on getting her back safe.
I'll go back to unpacking the other way.
Casmin was right. That drake is rutting. Erratic flight. Aggressive. It won't stop.
Skies, what do we do?
We get you back to the caravan fast. Clear line of fire. Good time to use your bow.
Should lead to the path guards used to reach the watchtower prior to the surge.
That drake is never far behind. Just keep going.
That's the path.
You're doing great, Bryn. Final stretch.
That can't be an arc.
No one has seen one in almost 50 years, let alone outside the Veil.
The Archons never left the Enclave. Still, you need to get... You've got to hold it off. We'll work on an escape plan.
Close to the Veil, the tangles...
Too thick, I know. Hang in there, Bryn.
Isn't the strangest.
What the... Hang on, Bryn.
Everything okay back there?
Change of plans, everyone! Back up!
You're...
What? We're coming to you, Bryn. Follow that arc. We We need to go! Now! Up ahead! Lee! Fine, keep moving! Guys, the arc!
Has anyone else noticed we're practically sitting on a loom gate?
That can wait, Dom. Aurea, you should be resting. If your wing doesn't heal, our point is out of commission.
That's what I need to address. While my wing recovers, Bryn will take over expeditions as our acting point.
You sure she's ready for all of this?
Bryn did face down an ASHPEAK drake and lived to tell the tale.
Yes. I have every confidence that she will make a great point.
As long as we don't all die here first.
Hey, take a moment to remember. We're in the Enclave. Haven't we all fantasized about this? This place holds mysteries beyond our wildest dreams and secrets to our past as weavers.
Revelations await us.
Exactly. When we first set out to investigate the Veil's shadow, we had no idea we'd end up here. The Enclave was once a safe haven for all weavers, and the pinnacle of innovation. Since the Veil went up, weavers took the blame for decades of war, all because of what happened here. We owe it to ourselves and to our brethren across the Maida to find out not just what happened, but why. Maybe then, weavers can find our place in the world again. But first, survival. Bryn, that's you and me. Adjourned.
So after all the legends, this is it.
Legends for you, maybe. Some of us trained under weavers who were born here. Still, it is surreal to see it for myself now.
You must be devastated that your wing is holding you back.
I can't deny that my heart breaks at the prospect of being stuck behind the scry. But knowing I've found the right replacement helps. Besides, this wing won't keep me down for long. I'll be back out there soon enough.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Anyway, enough with the sentimentality. For your first expedition, we need to get the lay of the land. Thankfully, Lane Free has an old map of the Enclave to help us get our bearings. It's 60 years old. Pre-Surge. No chance it's accurate, but that's where you come in.
I'll update it as I go.
Just below us is Glintwood Hollow, a valley on the outskirts of the Enclave. A second loom gate, and what appears to be a giant statue. Possibly an ark.
You can see it from here? Must be massive.
If either is functional, Dom will throw you a party. I'll be with you on the scry. With fewer tangles, we're hoping the connection will be stronger.
I'll head out now.
I've got you clear as a sandy summer, Bryn.
No interference from the Enclave?
None. The connection is much stronger than outside the Vale.
That's reassuring.
Happy we're here.
Arcs were supposed to be used for manual labor. Hostility is strange.
Fresh water in walking distance of the campsite.
I'll set up a purifier for it later.
The point. What a beautiful view.
Creatures could be hunted for food. Any of these plants look edible?
Dan will put anything in his mouth if it's sweet enough. Whatever he doesn't vomit, will eat.
Just try not to poison him.
This must be Hydra's lake.
But lakes are still. Why name it after the spirit of flowing water?
I was right. It is an ark. A great one.
It isn't moving. I'll get a closer look.
An ark of the stricken earth, I would guess. Any chance you could bring a piece of it back to camp?
Doubt my sword is strong enough.
Too bad. Strange that it's just standing there.
Maybe the second loom gate will tell us more. Enclave constructs are believed to be interconnected in many ways.
Smithing? Maybe Sola would know. This must be the second loom gate.
What's covering the base?
I'll check it out. A lot of debris on the platform. I could clear it with kinetic magic.
What about the loom gate itself? Is it functional?
No sign of life, but see that cloud of raw magic? It's leaking from the broken pipe near the edge of the platform.
So we have 2 powerless loom gates and a tangle leaking out of an enclave construction. I wonder if Lane still has that treatise we picked up in Taza.
And he's gone.
There. With the debris gone, this loom gate doesn't appear to be in poor shape at all. I should see if the others have any ideas for this.
Good news. Lane found a shortcut back to our camp for you, and we've got the wisp working.
The wisp?
Watcher's wisp. Channel a little magic into your earpiece. I'll redirect it to guide you from the scry to the shortcut.
That should be it. According to my map, it's a man-made tunnel that grants easy access to the way station.
Bryn's back. Let's fill her in.
We believe we found a way to activate the loom gate in our camp and in Glintwood Hollow.
With the loom gates active, we could expand our search of the Enclave. Who knows what we might find?
The potential for discovery is endless.
Agreed. So, how do we repair a loom gate?
What made the Enclave remarkable was not merely their constructs, but their ability to power them. It has long been rumored that beneath our very feet exists an extensive magical network known as the Tapestry. The pipe you found in Glintwood Hollow is proof of its existence. It must be a conduit that directs raw magic to the loom gates as a source of power.
And the tangle that formed around it was a leak.
Precisely. Our theory is that patching the rupture will restore power to the gate.
Thankfully, Seven Lane have a plan for that.
We don't know a lot about arcs, but I dug up some old stories from logs that we inherited from a weaver band that broke apart. In notes dated before the Surge, this band managed to get one of the enchanters who worked on the arcs riotously drunk and talking.
Apparently, the Arcs have a thin carapace between their skin and their armor plates that's nigh immune to magic, and can be separated in segments. A magically resistant material like that would be perfect to seal a rupture in the tapestry.
So I need to cleave this carapace off the Arc.
Come see me and we can make some improvements to Sola's forge. Which, in turn, means...
I could hone your sword so we can cleave the carapace, no problem.
We'll talk.
Great foresight in removing the debris from the loom gate's platform. We've got a clear workspace once the patch is forged.
Happy to be one step ahead.
Everyone's got a part to play in this. Let's get to work.
Hey, I know we need to fix up the forge, but before we do, I'd like to talk to you about something.
Sure. What's up?
I owe you an apology.
What for?
I've been a little cold since you've arrived. I was just under a lot of stress with everything that happened.
You mean when we ran for our lives from a death cloud into a lost land?
Yeah, that. And losing supply.
Luck's experience.
At the time, that's what it seemed like. But ever since we arrived, you've been more than proving yourself. You made finding food and water a top priority. That's when I realized our weaver band is in good hands. I underestimated you when I shouldn't have. And frankly, I was a jerk about it.
It's okay, Cass.
No, it's not. I really am sorry.
Thanks. That means a lot. Let's just start fresh, okay?
I'd love that.
So, I know Sola mentioned improvements to her forge meant being able to hone my sword. What does that entail exactly?
Unfortunately, the missing supplies I mentioned.
Is there a way I can help you restock?
Right now, we reserve the materials you bring back for your armors and weapons, because that's the priority. But if there's anything you can spare, I can repurpose them into supplies for our campsite.
Sounds simple enough.
Glad to hear it. These are a great start. With the supplies we've got already, we could shape up our campsite. We lost a lot of stuff when we were running for our lives, and frankly, our setup is only half of what it should be. But we can rebuild.
What do you have?
Like we discussed. Sola could forge better weapons with improvements to her smithy. Alternatively, Dom could certainly care better for our mantles with new tools for weaving. And to keep you in fighting form, having Lane's alchemical tools in top form is invaluable. There's no end to the improvements we could make around here.
What about you?
Me? Oh, I don't need anything.
Come on, there must be something.
I mean, would new shelves be nice? Sure. I also have some ideas for your supply pouches. But don't worry about me. I'm fine. Right now, improving Sola's forge is more important.
I know this is a great idea. You can count on me.
Thanks, Bren. Sola is delighted with the improvements to her forge. She can refine your sword as soon as you'd like. Great work, Bryn.
Turns out we make a pretty good team. This campsite will be top of the line in no time.
Yeah. We're definitely going to need to start directing a water flow to the camp. Maybe even install a fountain in the back. It would help to get a garden going in here too. Fruits, vegetables, medicinal herbs. Oh, what?
Do you ever take a break? You know, to enjoy a job well done? Just try to remember. It's not the end of the world if you take a break. Someone will step in to help lighten your load.
It doesn't always feel like the others realise how much needs to get done.
Then tell them. Like how you told me we needed supplies. I stepped in to help, didn't I?
You did. I see your point.
The others will do the same.
Maybe. I'd better get back to work, but this was nice.
I knew he'd recover. We always do. Still feels nice to have my core tools back this quickly. Speaking of, I've something for you. We've been scavenging around the way station and reclaimed a fair amount of useful materials. They're stored away and ready for you. Should be enough to reforge your sword as we discussed.
Sounds like it's time to make something that can punch through arc armor.
That's the spirit. Don't forget to block. Sword and blade. There you go. Not just good as new. Better.
Now that I can cut the carapace free, what's next?
Whenever the band is collaborating on a problem, I'm often the one to create the design, and you'll put it together with me. At least normally they're my designs. Sev actually came up with this one. With carapace and enough metal, I can forge his patch for the leaking conduit.
Any particular metal required?
No, just enough of the same type. Sev and I try to keep our designs flexible to work with whatever we've got on the caravan. Once you have everything we need, we'll forge the patch here. Hydra's brook, aptly named for the spirit of water that flows.
You're coming up on the arc of the stricken earth. With a stronger sword, hope...
This might take a while.
You'll need to swing harder to cut through armor that thick.
What's happening?
Retrieving the carapace is going to be trickier than we thought.
Is she really ready to fight that thing?
Catch your breath. When you're ready, you can climb the arc to attack it from different angles. That's it! Hit the exposed skin with everything you've got. Anymore. Move on.
Chance to get the carapace. You secured it.
Any concerns about using the Archon strand, Dom?
Concerns? None. Excitement? Considerable. We should be able to weave that strand into your mantle, Bryn.
Perfect.
You think this patch will fix the leaking pipe?
Yes. And with the debris cleared, why don't you tell Aria we've got everything we need to fix the loom gate?
Me?
Acting or otherwise, major communication should come from the point.
I'll keep that in mind. The patch is ready, and I've cleared the debris at the loom gate in Glintwood Hollow.
Excellent work, Bryn. Time for you to take a well-earned rest while the band heads into the Hollow.
You sure you don't need me to come?
We've got this, and you need the break.
All right, if you say so. Aurea, how's it going?
Bryn, you're awake. We're making progress over here. Careful with that.
Hey, no one came back to camp, did they? Is the rest of the band still with you?
We're all here, and the leak is just about fixed.
Hey, wait, I just want to talk. That was incredible.
Hey, couldn't have done it without you.
Actually, we couldn't have done it without Sev. I didn't expect you to have such a deft hand with magical conduits.
I'm not... I mean... We just got lucky it held.
Not to distract from the victory, but something happened while you were gone. I saw something. Well, someone.
A Hearthsider?
Maybe. The figure was masked and standing at the edge of the camp. I think they were watching me. Before they disappeared.
How friendly.
If there are people still left in the Enclave, we need to find them. They can tell us what happened here.
Yes. I was just thinking we should chase down the scary masked figure that likes to watch Bryn sleep.
Since we arrived, we've been speculating about what may have happened after the surge. But no one here knows the truth. Only Hearthsiders could tell us that. I think the truth is worth the risk that they may be hostile.
You're right. We won't find answers standing here.
Friendly or hostile, if there are Hearthsiders, we need to find them.
Agreed.
And the good news is, fixing the loom gate didn't just give us easier access to Glintwood, it expanded our scry's reach.
So scries are somehow connected to the Enclave's tapestry?
Every scry was built here.
This means you not only have access to the loom gate, but you can safely explore further.
Incidentally, our maps indicate that there is a village beyond the Hollow in a large swathe of wetlands known as DREDGE'S Mire.
Perhaps we'll find our Hearthsider there. Bryn, why don't you brief with Lane before your next expedition?
Sounds good.
After that, it's time to use the loom gate.
Why didn't you guys return using it yourselves?
We needed to take a key swatch back to camp in order to connect the two. We'll make sure you have a key swatch to connect any other loom gates to this one from now on. So look, this plan to repurpose carapace to fix the loom gates.
Here to brief?
I like to know everything I can before venturing off to a new place.
Just beyond the forested hills of Glintwood Hollow lies the wetlands known as DREDGER'S Mire. Much like the Hollow, the Enclave prospected many of the raw materials needed for its ambitious constructs and projects from the mire. Oh, it's no coincidence you found the Ark of the Stricken Earth near a collapsed mine. Likely, it was used for the excavation of minerals and metals before the surge. I believe the natural surroundings of the mire were also rich in resources. The Enclave even settled a small village there known as Poldervale.
Which is where I might find that masked figure that was watching me.
It's possible. Regardless, do you have any questions before you head out?
Thanks for the info, Lane. I think I'm ready to head out.
My pleasure. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I didn't have the biggest role to play in the loom gates repair. I'm not exactly handy with a hammer. But watching the band work gave me an idea for a new alchemical project. Its working name is a loom shard.
A loom shard?
Yes, it's a shard that could draw magic from a loom gate and bring you back to camp safely, wherever you are.
How is this different from Aurea pulling me back with the scry?
Unaided, Aurea can only summon enough magic to bring you back safely, not all the valuables you might have collected on your expedition. Because this shard draws magic from the tapestry, it can bring you back safely with all you've gathered.
Thanks, Lane.
Ready?
Let's do this.
First trip through the loom gate is a success.
Hopefully more trips to come, to new and exciting places.
past. A fitting name for the road to the wetlands.
According to the maps, you're getting close to Dredger's Mire.
Two-hander. Looks like it was being packed up to ship.
It'll be exciting to work with an enclave design firsthand.
I know you're excited to explore, but first things first. Use our key swatch with a loom gate in the mire, so that it's easy to return.
Right. I'll check the maps.
Perfect. I can see the connection. We'll be able to come back whenever we'd like.
Without having to trek through all the mud.
The beauty of instantaneous travel. Key swatches are an ingenious system for connecting loom gates together.
This is Polder Vale, but what happened? The village is completely frozen.
This can't be natural.
I think it's safe to say no one lives here. Where else could I look for a Hearthsider?
I can't quite remember why, but something tells me you should search for a watchtower. The maps indicate there may be some nearby.
That security would be active if the village was vacated.
Just trust me on this. I've got some cross-referencing to do.
All right, Bryn. You heard them.
Watchtower. Got it. Another drake.
This one doesn't seem as aggressive. Must not be rutting.
Should leave you alone unless you get close.
Just like home. You're round a corner and a glacier's right to greet you. There's a watchtower ahead.
Found the tome I was looking for. It mentioned that key swatches were held by security in the Enclave's more remote villages. It ensured that loom gates could be reconnected to more central locations if needed. Perhaps our Hearthsider won't be in the watchtower, but a key swatch to Deneveran could be.
Genius name. Nice work.
do with a little heat. My darling, I suspect the way the light filters through the Enclave's veil makes you look more luminous than ever.
Stop. It'll go to my head.
Should I come back later? I didn't mean to interrupt you two.
Sorry, Bryn. Sometimes we get lost in our little world.
But since you're here, I was actually hoping to speak with both you and Sola.
Oh?
I don't know if you know this, but my wife is an extremely talented smith who was apprenticed under a variety of world-class teachers.
Well, a revolving door of mentors doesn't exactly facilitate the most stable education, especially when one of them drops dead in front of you.
Oh, details. You've made more of your varied experience than most could glean from a lifetime. Anyway, I know you always hoped to further your education with the Tarmakine Smithing School's techniques. So, I asked Lane to look into whether or not any Tarmakine smithing was ever practiced here in the Enclave.
Oh, doll. You shouldn't have.
What could be more pressing than helping my wife fulfill her lifelong dreams? As luck would have it, there were Tarmakine smiths here before the search.
Really?
Perhaps our daring point might be able to keep a lookout for anything those smiths might have left behind.
I mean, if it's too much trouble.
Of course. I'd be happy to help.
Perfect. I'll leave you to discuss the details.
Anything in particular I should look for?
The Tarmakine smithing techniques are exceptionally complex, and as such, pretty rare across the Maida. It might be too much to hope for anything close to a completed armor set, but prototypes or even notes pertaining to the style would be useful. I'd take anything you can find.
You might be in luck. I found a schematic.
Yes, this schematic is for a Tarmakine helm.
Could we forge a helm using the schematic?
Unfortunately, the schematic isn't finished. But sometimes smiths will create a prototype alongside their designs. If you found something like that, I might be able to forge the helm.
Sola, any thoughts on how I might go about withstanding cold temperatures while I search for the key swatch?
With the right materials, any design for armor could give you some resistance to frost magic and cold temperatures.
What kind of materials could I bring you?
A Kala hide would do the trick for one.
There are plenty of those prowling in the outskirts. Thanks for the insight.
Going to need more feathers. Fit for a point. Fit for a point. Good balance of protection and mobility.
Hey, Lane. Got any ideas on how I might go about retrieving a key swatch from a frozen village?
I imagine long underwear might help.
Maybe an alchemical solution?
I'm teasing, of course. Drinking a frost shroud phial would do the trick. It makes cold temperatures much easier to withstand. I don't have the facilities to make one just yet, but perhaps you and Casmin could prioritize them?
I'll keep that in mind next time I have some supplies to spare. I wonder how this arc managed to get us through the Veil.
By the looks of it, it was a one-way ticket.
Well, the Enclave built many arcs and other magical constructs. I've never heard of one designed to repel Drake's breath, though.
You think we might find another arc that could help us escape?
Or possibly repair this one? It must be special somehow.
We know as much as we can from looking at it. Time to start exploring if we want to find answers.
So, we're hunting a rogue key swatch in a frozen village. When dealing with temperature, your magic can directly counteract it.
I'm guessing we fight frost with flame?
Just so. Like building a fire on a cold night.
Good thing we've woven some flame into my mantle then.
Yes. Conserve your energy and engage carefully. If you can set objects alight, the heat from their combustion will help as well.
So long as that doesn't turn into a wildfire.
That, my friend, is why I said to engage carefully.
The air's thick, almost sour. What's happened?
This can't be natural.
This is exactly what happened to Taza after the surge when all the aeroliths failed. It must be something like that. mantle!
unpredictable and powerful. The Archon Expanse. Pre-Surge, the Arcs trod this passage daily to transport and farm resources from the outskirts.
According to this logbook, all the key swatches were removed from the Poldervale Watch a few years after the surge.
Strange.
But there was one key swatch that was borrowed and never returned by the mayor at his residence in Poldervale.
Perhaps it's still there.
It'll be tough for me to withstand the cold long enough to search for it.
and unfettered access to the Enclave's capital.
Amazing, Bryn.
Denevron awaits. There's no way this is natural. Feels like frost magic.
Impressive, Bryn. We're on our way to Denevron. Thanks to you.
Everyone helped. I just did my part.
In a well-run band, everything takes teamwork, that's for sure. But don't downplay your role in this. Since you've been crisis promoted to point, we've felled a great arc, restored a construct, and now we've got access to the Enclave's capital. Not everyone could accomplish what you have, let alone in our current circumstances. In fact, most would crumble under the pressure.
Don't get me wrong, I know I'm doing good here. But honestly, having just left a band that fought and backstabbed one another, I really appreciate the level of teamwork that went into this. The others are lifting me up, and I don't take that for granted.
That's good to hear. I know they're as impressed with you as I am.
Thanks, Aurea.
Now, enough talk. You've got a city to explore.
Bryn, do you have a moment?
For my favorite lawkeeper? Absolutely.
I'm the only lawkeeper here, though.
Yes. Doesn't mean you aren't my favorite. So, what do you need?
What was it? Oh, yes. I'm looking to do some experiments with alchemical reagents, and was wondering if you could source me some.
That sounds like something I could help with. What's the experiment?
I won't waste your time with specifics. I just think it'll produce something helpful, if my hypothesis is correct.
Well, my last lawkeeper sent me out all the time for herbs that he'd inevitably just stuff in a pipe and smoke.
Oh. No, that makes sense. Then that... yes. Sorry.
Oh. After what happened in the Veil's shadow, any improvement to the scry is worth making.
Exactly. I noticed that she needs a break before guiding you again. The tangles were so bad in the shadow, she couldn't use the wisp at all.
The scry has been better inside the Enclave, but we shouldn't take any chances.
There's a plant that only grows here in the Enclave. It expresses a clarifying magical essence. I think I can use it to strengthen Aurea's connection with the scry.
That'd be really helpful.
I think so too. Now, am I missing something?
Where can I find the plant?
Oh, right. At night in the outskirts, they glow. And I believe they mostly grow in clusters near bodies of water.
Go to the outskirts at night and grab some glowing plants near bodies of water. Got it.
Well, they have a more accurate name than that. I won't overcomplicate it. But they're referred to locally as Diane's Chorus, which refers to a moment in the Enclave's history early on, when their second leader, Diane Ramenos, was elected by unanimous vote. She was the right person at the right time for the Enclave and brokered several extremely lucrative trade deals.
The more you talk, the longer you'll wait.
Sorry, yes, please, go. Bring them to me as soon as you can. Thank you.